Happy New Year's, you guys. It's Adam here at Blue Collar and Scholar Whiskey Pairing. And we're here on New Year's Day for another whiskey review because it's Whiskey Wednesday. And I just wanted to take a moment to thank all of our subscribers to date and followers for following us over the last year or so. And look forward to doing a lot more videos like this in 2020 and hope that you'll subscribe and keep following. Anyway, today's whiskey is by Macallan, and it is edition number 5. The reason it's called edition number 5 is that it's an annual release. This year was part of the BC Spirits release, and it's sold at the government liquor stores for $175.99. The annual release for Macallan, you can see in the background here, this is all of the editions they've released so far to date. And each release focused on a different aspect of the distilling industry. So edition number 1, which is actually really rare now and hard to find. If you ever do see one, pick it up and I'll buy it off you. This one has 8 different cask styles that went into making this whiskey. So number 1 edition, they're basically focusing on the cask. Number 2, it was a collaboration with a world famous restaurant, and so the sommelier helped pick casks from the Macallan warehouse to create this whiskey. So this is sort of their ode or their focus on palate, if you will. Number 3 edition, again they teamed up with a perfumer to create this whiskey. And so this one is sort of paying tribute to the nose of a whiskey. Number 4, last year's edition, they basically wanted to celebrate the opening of their new distillery. So if you ever get a chance to go check out Macallan Distillery in Scotland, it's a brand new, really fancy distillery, and I look forward to maybe checking it out someday. Which leads us to this year's number 5. And number 5 is this beautiful purple color. And what they did is they're paying tribute to the color of whiskey. And so they teamed up with Color Institute. And the Color Institute went to Macallan Distillery, learned all about the process of making whiskey, and they came up with this purple hue. So this is a special purple that they came up with just for this whiskey. I was a little disappointed when I poured it in my glass to discover that the whiskey itself doesn't really have a purple hue. That would have been really cool, but the box is pretty kind of stands out when you're in the whiskey shop and see it on the shelf. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, here we go with the review. So on the nose, getting like toffee right away, oak, the oak spices that you would normally get, so like nutmeg, quite a bit of ginger, and like vanilla beans. One other thing I should add before we go to palate, the Macallan number 5 is bottled at 48.5% ABV. And it's another kind of interesting little thing they've done. Each edition is bottled at 1.1% higher. So the number 1 is 48%. They sort of skipped 48.1, I guess, or maybe they consider this 48.1. Number 2 is 48.2%. Number 3, 48.3, and so on. So this is 48.5% ABV. Beautiful nose. Mouthfeel is kind of oily, like buttery, and there's also like a buttery flavor. Again, all those beautiful oak spices, kind of like a Quaker oatmeal, maple brown sugar, hot cereal flavor there. And I'm also getting like a crisp pear in the background. finish. Those lingering same oak spices. And then there's like a real kind of dark, bittersweet chocolate note right at the finish there. It's quite nice. Beautiful dram. I'm going to give this one an 8.7 out of 10. And I'd highly recommend, especially if you're into collecting, try and get all the editions. But this one's definitely one to open and enjoy as well. Cheers.